I thought that for today's video I would do kind of like a let's try it on style video where I use some products that I've talked about in some recent hauls that many of you have asked more questions about in the comments, and so I've decided to group a bunch of them together and do them in one video. The first one is going to be the Paris Nudes Viseart palette. Something new that I have not even hauled yet is the Laneige Cushion Foundation that's available at Target. The It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Loose Powder. And the Voluminous Superstar Mascara that has a primer on one end and the mascara on the other. And you'll also see, as a supporting character in today's video, the Garnier Micellar water, which I used to remove all those eye swatches that I did. So you'll get to see that in action as well. So let's start off with the eyeshadow palette and go ahead and look at some of the eye swatches. We'll be doing two at a time, because I have two eyes. I'm going to start off in the upper left-hand corner and just work my way across. So I have this on this eye, and this shade on this eye. And in between, I'll be cleaning off the lid with the Garnier Skin Active Micellar Cleansing Water. I have this shade on this eye. And I have this shade on this eye. That shade's very sheer. There's not much pigment to it. It's almost like it lays down a little bit of really fine glitter. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. From this light shade, I have glitter. Even with the makeup remover, it's still on there, so. All right. Moving on. This shade on this eye. On this eye. So this color on this eye. And this color on this eye. All right, 4 more. I'm also cleaning off my brush each time with this brush cleaner from Sephora, which I really, really like. And then from the bottom row, I have this on this eye. And this color on this eye. I really like this. It doesn't look like much in the pan, but I like the way it looks on the eye. And then I have this shade on this eye, and this dark purple shade on this eye. So a lot of people are raving about this eyeshadow formula on YouTube, and this palette is $80, and I think, when I first talked about this, I said, I don't think it's worth $80. I don't think it's any better than, like, say, the Lorac Pro shadows. They are lovely, lovely shadows. There's nothing wrong with them. I just am not sure they're worth all the hype and all of the cost involved. I think you get a beautiful look. I think these are all shimmers. I have not tried any of the mattes, and I'm not inclined to try the mattes either because it's a lot of money for a palette that I just feel like I have other palettes I like as much, and for 80 bucks I could probably get 2 other palettes in my collection for the price of one. So this will probably be a one and done on this brand for me. Famous last words, who knows, I may change my mind later on. But this palette has a pretty almost equal warm and cool shades. Some of the shades are a little similar in my opinion. I think this shade and this shade are quite similar. And I think that this shade and this shade are very similar. So that to me is a little disappointing that there was not more variety. And even these two purple shades are very, I think there's a lot of overlap in this palette. So, you know, for those reasons, I like it. I don't love it. And would I say run out and get it? If you have a lot of money and you want to spend the money, you want to try it, go for it. I might suggest, if someone were really interested in trying this brand, is maybe trying one of the palettes that has a mix of shimmer and mattes, or the all matte, because I think a lot of people really love the matte palettes. They think they're some of the best they've ever used. And of course I can't speak to that. Moving on to the Laneige BB Cushion Foundation. This is available exclusively at Target, and it is has an SPF 50, and the shade I selected was light. If you're not familiar with a cushion foundation, it's like a crossbreed between a liquid foundation that's saturated in this sponge, so it makes it very portable and travel friendly, purse friendly, and so it's almost like a compact foundation, but it's like a liquid. So when you stick your finger in there, you get product on there, and then you apply it to your face. It comes with a little like spongy puff to apply it. I'm going to go ahead and just press this into the cushion. It says it protects, covers, hydrates, soothes, and brightens, and it's for all skin types. And Laneige is a division of Amore Pacific. So I'd say this is a pretty glowy foundation. I feel like I have a lot of glow, and probably a little bit more moisturizing foundation that maybe I would normally choose for myself. But I do feel like the coverage is really pretty good. I would put this medium to full coverage, and a little bit more hydrating and glowy than the average foundation that I would normally choose to use. So this particular brand does come with a refill, and I liked that about it. I think that's a good thing, because I just don't know how much is really in here. You know, it seems like, I think you would go through this pretty fast, and then to have to buy a new compact every time seems almost like a waste of money. It says net weight 1.05 ounces, and most foundations have like 1 fluid ounce in it. I cannot believe that this much foundation is in these two. I don't know. Volume-wise, it doesn't seem possible. But that's something, you know, I'll see as I use it, how long I think it lasts. But I do think it gives a really beautiful coverage. And I like the fact that this particular brand, you can just pop out. You can just pop out and put the refill in. So I really like that quite a bit. I'm going to let this set a little bit and do my eye makeup, and we'll see if it's still as glowy when I'm done. Next up is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Micro Finishing Powder. I've used it quite a bit this week. I think it does give you that kind of flawless, poreless look. I like to use the little puff it comes with and kind of press it into my real troublesome areas, which are like around my nose, and then kind of buff it off with a brush. I think that gives a really beautiful finish, and I liked this quite a bit. Next up we have the Voluminous Superstar mascara that has a primer on one end and the mascara on the other end. So in the demo you can see, you know, the one end is the primer, it's your typical white primer, and the other end is the mascara. And even though I have picked up a black mascara, I don't feel like it's very dark. I think it's a really soft black. And I personally prefer a really dark black mascara. I want to make the most out of those lashes with my mascara, because I don't wear a lot of false eyelashes. I'm a klutz and don't seem to be able to learn how to do that. So I really have to make the most out of the mascara I use and the way it is applied to my lashes. So I ended up going over it with this. So if you're looking at my lashes now, it is this on top, because this, I just don't feel like gave me enough definition. So for me, this is kind of a miss, but I will say if you are someone who does not like a super dark mascara, you might like this quite a bit. So I guess the big question here is, you know, do you notice any big lengthening or thickening result from the primer? And I can't say that I did. You know, for that extra step, I don't really feel like it added much in the terms of volume or length to my mascara, so I would rather just apply one coat of this. So the last thing I used in this video was the Garnier Micellar Cleansing Water. Many of you asked about this when I hauled it recently. What did I think of it? I think it works really great. I have been using it. You can see I have a little bit used up here. I really like it. I generally, how I use this when I'm cleansing my face at night, I cleanse. Whatever comes off in the cleansing process is off. Then I come in here and I moisten a cotton pad and take the rest of the mascara that did not come off in the cleansing process, and then I'm done. So I really like this, and I like having it in here for when I'm doing videos or just doing my regular makeup. I like having a little micellar water nearby for those emergencies that you know are probably going to happen. And as a side note, I don't have any highlight on. This is all that foundation and just this little blush, which I don't think there's any real illumination in this blush. It's really all that foundation. I think it's really pretty. The finish on this foundation is really, really pretty. So if you like this type of video, please give it a thumbs up, and that way I know that you are enjoying this format of video, and I can incorporate that feedback into future videos. And let me know what you think of these cushion foundations. They're everywhere, at every price point. Take care, and I'll see you real soon. Bye!